Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another amazing interview. I am your host, James. Unfortunately, Brat is in California right now, so I'm joined by Tylen.
Rot's in California? Hi. I am his replacement for now.
We're joined by Micah Draws, amazing guest who's been doing a lot of awesome work. Yeah, how are you doing today?
I'm doing pretty good. Thank you for having me on.
So let's hop right into why we asked you to be here today. We recently been doing a lot of gender bent gods, deities from Pathfinder, as well as some few Starfinder works. What inspired you to do this type of project?
I saw Aaron Shanks had posted on Twitter back in June something about wanting to see Genderbend Gods because in his interpretation, they can assume whatever form they want. They just typically choose to appear as a given gender. And so I took that, and originally I was only going to do a few, but I saw that there was a lot of reception, positive reception for the concept, so I just ran with it. And now I've done most of the core pantheon. I think the only ones I didn't do are Lamashtu and Ravagog.
They've all been incredible to look at when they come in through Twitter.
Well, thank you.
James's favorite is definitely Calistria.
It's always been Calistria.
It's always been a Calistria, even when he's a dude.
It does
I'm pretty
not
happy
matter to
with
me.
that one. And I've gotten a lot of good comments on Calistria's boots in that drawing. So
They kind of they're super cool. Looks like Batman's gauntlets. Kind of. What are your favorite illustrations that you've made thus far in this project?
of all the ones I've done so far, I would say Asmodeus, Desna, and probably Calistria or Pharasma. Those are kind of my top four, not in any particular order, but I think those are the ones that came out the best for me and were the easiest to work on at the same time. And you would not believe you probably would believe the thirst for Lady Asmodeus.
Oh
There's
yeah,
a lot of
100%.
thirst for
I get it. I get it.
I've seen the hype around the Resident Evil series. I know what big demonic or vampiric, ladies can do.
There have been a lot of offers to sell their souls to Lady Asmodeus. So
I think my personal favorite out of this is Shaylin, mainly because I just love the hair.
oh well, thank
You,
you.
you
That
did an
was
awesome job
actually
on the hair.
I was worried that was going to be super hard to draw, and it kind of worked out.
It looks almost like a foil trading card.
I noticed that a lot of depictions of Shaylin, it looks like her hair has, I don't know, paint or something in it. It's very prismatic in highlights and stuff. And so, yeah, it does actually. Now that you mention, I can definitely see like a foil, like back in the 90s kind of effect.
Which one was probably the hardest that you had to work on that came out surprisingly better than you thought?
The hardest was probably Ergothoa because number one, I'm not used to drawing skeletons like bones. And number two, I have very little experience drawing gore, and anyone that knows Ergothoa, her normal depiction, she's just like melted away. And I was not sure I was pulling that off. And when I posted him, a lot of people were like, wow, this is horrific, but in the
But
way
in a
that it
good
should be
way.
for Ergothoa. And I'm like, whew.
I think the biggest fear would be like finding out it looked extremely cute.
Yeah, and being like, oh, you're into that.
Oh no.
I would say Zon Kuthan was also pretty tough, but I was a little more confident there because her sort of pinhead energy is a little bit easier to draw for me. It with the first time I read about like Velstrax and Zon Kuthan, I was like, oh, they pulled from Pinhead from Hellraiser big time.
Oh yeah, no,
And
that's
I'm
that's
kind of
that's
into that.
definitely a
Not like,
Cenobite.
yeah, exactly. It's such a Cenobite energy.
Where can people find your work?
I'm most active on Twitter at MicahDraws. I'm MicahDraws pretty much anywhere. You see that name on social media, there's a 90% chance it's me. I also have my portfolio at MicahDraws.com, and I have a webcomic called The Sparrow. It's like Percy Jackson meets the X-Men, but more gay. You can find that at sparrowcomic.com.
So this is more of a personal question. How are you going to do Grotus?
I was thinking putting a little bow, like the Pac-Man, Miss Pac-Man dichotomy, just
Oh,
a little
okay.
bow and maybe a little lipstick.
I think
Oh,
the
boy.
Deli J community would thank you for that one.
I have noticed that the bot encourages us to worship every so often.
I think I like that in some of them it's kind of hard because they have a very like androgynous frame in general. So Norgorber, for example, literally just a cloak.
Indications of breasts and
Yeah.
kind of work. I think Norgorber and Gorum were the hardest to actually show that I was doing a gender bend as opposed to just drawing the original, because Norgorber, what you guys described, but
It's
with
a cloak.
yeah, and with Gorum, Gorum is normally head to toe in spiky armor, and I asked some people, I was like, is it going to be a big deal if I draw boob armor? Because I know that that's not really a thing that a lot of people are okay with. I asked several women about it, and who know Pathfinder, know the source material, and they linked me to some references of actual plate mail that has space for breasts, not like the MMORPG boob armor. There's a few more of the like minor deities I want to do, like Besmara, and there's a couple more on my list, but I think that may be it for me for a little while on the gender bends. But like I got 18 done, so I'm pretty happy with that. Caden also got a lot of love, especially from some of my lesbian friends who know the source material. They really like female Caden.
Can you talk about Queerfinder and your involvement with the project?
Queerfinder is being pioneered by Grady of the Gallant Goblin. And that's a YouTube channel that covers D&D, Pathfinder, and Starfinder. And because Pathfinder Paizo publishing is very queer friendly in general, and so Queerfinder is our effort to really embrace that and promote not only queer content but queer creators. And we've got several big names on the writing staff, like Michelle Jones is writing something, and I think we've got Vanessa is also writing something. I am doing several pieces of art for it. I've got a couple of character illustrations that are going to be in it, including one for Nobukazu, who is one of the NPCs in the Absalom book that just came out. And then I'm also doing a fan comic featuring the first romantic encounter between Caden and Nethys, which was sparked because some friends and I were talking about making Caden have a same-sex relationship. We were like, who would go best? And Nethys came up as like sort of a jock nerd kind of
Would be
dynamic.
amazing.
That
Oh my
is
god.
hilarious.
And ever since then, I've been all about that. So I did a 4-page, just a little mini comic, tastefully romantic, the two of them having their first night. So it was fun to do. It was a lot of fun.
You've just recently released a Genderbent collection on Pathfinder Infinite.
Yeah, the Genderbent Gods of Golarion bundle on Pathfinder Infinite, and it has all 18 that I did at a discount from buying them all individually. I think it's like $5 off from if you bought each one individually.
Thank you for joining us today.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
We're looking forward to seeing the rest of your content. Thank you, Micah, for being here, and we will see the rest of you guys in the next interview. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.